So good morning everyone. So now in this video we'll talk about value equal to index value problem. So let us go through the problem statement. So given an array ARR of n positive integers, your task is to find the elements whose value is equal to that of its index value. Consider one based indexing. Now this is very important. Consider one based indexing. Note, there can be more than one element in the array which have the same value as its index. You need to include every such element's index. Follows one based indexing of the array. Okay, so if you go to this example, if n is 5 and your array is 15 to 45, 12 and 17. So generally what happens is this is array is of zero based index. But here if you see the problem statement over here, what they want is consider one based indexing and the array ARR of n positive integers. Okay, your task is to find the elements whose value is equal to that of its index value. So the index value and the original value of the array should match, but the condition is it should be one based index. Okay, so this is the array 15 to 45, 12 and 7. Here n is 5, there are 5 elements. Now considering this as one based index, as in the 15 is considered to be as at position 1, 2 at position 2, 45 at position 3 and so on. So if you see here, this array of 2 is equal to 2 exist. The value of this ARR is 2. The index position is 2. If we consider this as one based index value, if we consider 15 at index 1, 2 at index 2, then we are getting this output as 2. Similarly, if an array which has just one value in it, the output is 1, because again one based indexing, this is having value 1 which is present at index 1. So what we need to do is, let us take as an example, 15 to 45, 12 and 7. So it means that we need one more value which is before 15, which should be at present at index 0 and 15 at index 1. Okay, so what we can do is we can create a temporary array, or you can say another array, wherein we can push those values over there. We can have 0 at index 1 and then 15 at index 2, sorry, 15 at index 1, 0 at index 0, and then subsequently all other values. So just for the explanation purpose, let me move on to Eclipse. Okay, so here what I have done is created this ARR. These are the same values what we saw here, 15 to 45, 12 and 7. So here at the value 0, at index position 0, what we are having 15. Okay, and the length of this is ARR dot length. The length is 5. What we have done is we have created a temporary array whose size is one more to this original array. Okay, n plus 1. Next thing what we have done is we are going through a loop from 1 is 0 till the nth value of the original array and incrementing it by value 1. So ARR of I, what we are passing is ARR of I, we are putting the values into I plus 1 of the temporary array. So that index position here 0 will move on to the first, then first will move on to second and so on. Okay, and then here just to display the values, I am just created a for loop which will go from 0 to this length of this temporary array and increment by 1. Okay, let me execute this program. So here are the different values. If I talk about, if you see in this case, this is the ARR. At 0 position we have 15. The length of this is 5. Now what we have done is we have shifted the value, for considering one based index. So if you see here, at index position 0 we have this 0, at index position 1 now we have 15. So this is what is required, right? So we need to have one based index, right? So these are the values what we have already. So 15 will be at 1, 2 will be at position 2, 45 will be at position 3, and so on. Okay, this was just for explanation purpose. Now let us move to our code. So what we'll do here is we'll create a temporary array, int temporary array, new int, and then what we can write, n plus 1. Okay, now we have created a temporary array. We'll create a for loop, and from int I is equal to 0, I less than n, and I plus plus. We'll loop through this original array. We'll put the values in temporary array. The position here will be I plus 1, and here the ARR of I. So what it will do is it will create a temporary array, what we have already seen. Now you have a temporary array. What you need to do is you need to compare the index value with the actual value of the temporary array, considering it is a one based index. So what we have done is we have again created this temporary array already at this point of time. So we'll create this for loop. We'll run through this temporary array. Int I is equal to 1, I less than temporary array dot length, and then I plus plus. Okay, now we'll create a if condition and we'll check those values. If I is equal to temp array of I. Okay, so it will start from index 1. If 1 is equal to whatever the values over here. If that is the case, we need to put those values and then return it. Okay, so if you see here, you don't need to read input. Your task is to complete this function, which takes this and then as a parameter return an array of indices where the given condition is satisfied. Where there is no such element exists, then return an empty array of length 0. Okay, so here you can see the return type is array list of type integer. So what we will do is we'll create an array list over here. ARR, let's say list is equal to new array list. Now if this condition satisfies, what we'll do is this dot add, we'll add this I, and we will now just return ARR of list. Okay, let me compile this. Compilation error. Okay, done. Compile and run. Done. Let me submit it. Processing the test cases. And it passed. Okay, thank you for watching the video.